Welcome back to another video, and today we are doing our first four preview slash predictions. We're going to talk about the bubble situation and all the decisions the selection committee made, as well as preview these first four games to start out March Madness. Because if you are a diehard college basketball fan, you know that the tournament actually starts tomorrow. Many people only start watching on Thursday when the actual first round starts, but the first four usually produces some pretty decent games as well, and I think all these games have the potential to be close. Real quick, before we get started, make sure you subscribe. We got college basketball, college football, NFL, NBA, and MLB content. We're going to have our March Madness predictions here in the next day or so, either Tuesday or Wednesday. Those will be coming out. We are in the middle of the NBA season. The MLB season's right around the corner, so make sure you subscribe, turn on the noties. Great time to be a part of the channel, as well as check the description for the bracket challenge. Make sure you go down there and join that and make your predictions. Real quick, though, before we get into our preview predictions, whatever you want to call them, let's look at the bubble. So the last four teams in: Texas, Xavier, San Diego State, and North Carolina, the last team in. This has, drawn some eyes, some questions. West Virginia being left out, I did not see that. I thought they would probably be like a 9 seed. I didn't even, out of the tournament completely. I can understand maybe if they were one of the last four in. Out of the tournament completely is kind of crazy to me. I also thought Indiana and Boise State were going to get in. That's just me, though. I thought Xavier could potentially get left out. I thought Texas, definitely, I didn't see UNC getting in. I thought Texas probably deserved to get in, but Xavier, San Diego State, Texas maybe. I don't know. It was pretty close here at the end. I actually did have West Virginia, Indiana, and Boise in because I figured Boise, San Diego State, that first round game in the Mountain West tournament was a play-in game. I know SDSU had the better resume and all that, but I figured that the fact that Boise beat them and then they went out and beat New Mexico and got to the conference championship game. So I was wrong, obviously. Boise did not get in. We knew Ohio State wasn't going to get in just because of the fact. I mean, if they beat Iowa, they maybe would have gotten in, but you can't lose first round of the Big Ten tournament. But yeah, West Virginia, you got the governor now all doing all his things. We'll see what happens. But UNC did get in, last team in. That's very interesting. Let's take a look at the matchups, though. These are the Tuesday games, so we got St. Francis getting in as with having a losing record. They're 16-17 on the season. They went out and beat Central Connecticut State in their conference championship game in the Northeast Conference to win, and they actually won all three of their conference tournament games by 3 points, which I thought was very interesting. I don't love that. For their chances, for their odds. I actually picked them to lose first round. I really don't think this team's all that great, if I'm being honest. I mean, you look at their numbers. They're the lowest ranked team that got into the tournament. They're outside of the top 300. I mean, they are just horrible. They're barely top 300 in both offense and defense. Nothing really about their metrics looks good. I'm just going to be honest. There's nothing really here that looks good. You look at Alabama State, they ended up taking down Jackson State to win their conference. The only thing I will say about this matchup, St. Francis did win 2 of their 3 conference tournament games on the road, which I think could be a good sign. But again, all of them were so close, and the same thing could be said for Alabama State. All of their conference tournament games were very close. They almost lost to the 8 seed Grambling. Both these teams really not great. I mean, you're fighting for a chance to play Auburn, so it's not all that important who wins this game. I'm gonna take Alabama State. I think they just have a little bit more going for them. They're actually the 4th highest team in terms of turnovers for, so I think they can get some turnovers going. They shoot the 3 a lot. I think that could be a good thing for them, and they have a top 250 defense. St. Francis barely has a top 300. They're not even top 300 in Torvik, which is crazy. Alabama State ranks at 274, so they're not much better, but I think they are better. The spread on this game is Alabama State by 4.5. I think that's probably pretty accurate. I think this could be a close game, but I think Alabama State will win. Now we're going to look at the 11 seed matchup, and this one obviously very interesting. A lot of people, myself included, did not expect North Carolina to get in. But now looking at this matchup, um, North Carolina ranked 36th in the country in Torvik. San Diego State all the way down at 53. Now, San Diego State does have a top 15 defense in the country. However, offensively ranking 121, I don't love that. North Carolina ranks 21st in offense, 65th in defense. Now, I know they only have one quad one win. They're like crazy something, like 1-11 or something in quad one. They can't really beat anyone better than them. The thing, and that's what everyone keeps saying. The thing I'm thinking is, well, is San Diego State really better than North Carolina? I mean, I'm just being honest. Do we really think they are that much better? They lost in the first round of their tournament. At least with UNC, they beat Wake Forest, who was kind of a bubble team still. They had a very close game with Duke. Now I know they lost. I know Duke was without Cooper Flagg, but they could have won that game. They had a crazy comeback at the end. This North Carolina team, they still have R.J. Davis. He's definitely the best player in this game. I think North Carolina just is much more athletic and much more talented here. These two teams both have a lot of guard play, so I think the North Carolina, the big man problem won't really hurt them all that much here. The only thing I do worry about is they do turn it over a lot because they like to play at a faster pace. San Diego State likes to slow it down, and they force. Actually, they really don't force a crazy amount of turnovers, but San Diego State does take care of the ball. They do slow it down. I like North Carolina. I don't think they should have gotten in. I think San Diego State is probably more deserving to get in, but I think just off this matchup, I like UNC because like I said, everyone's saying, "Oh, UNC, they don't beat anyone better than them," but is San Diego State really better than them? I mean, if they are, it's not. It's like they're right there. You know what I mean? I know North Carolina, not great, very disappointing season, obviously. I think I actually might have picked them to win the ACC coming into this year. That was crazy miss. If I didn't, I had them second, so not great there. But yeah, I mean, San Diego State lost first round in the Mountain West tournament to Boise State, a team who didn't even get in. Like, I don't know. San Diego State lost 2 of their last 3 as well. And, they have had a little bit more time to rest. Maybe that helps them out. But UNC's favored by 3.5, 4.5, depending on where you look. I like UNC to get it done. I think they're a little more talented. Both these teams great guard play, but I think UNC is a little bit better. Moving into the Wednesday games, though, kicking things off, we got Mount St. Mary's versus American. I believe American is favored in this game. Both these teams are pretty similar metrics-wise. Both these teams are better than the other play-in teams, in my opinion. I think these are, clearly a decent amount better. Mount St. Mary's is a little bit lower in Torvik than American, but it's only by 20 spots. It's really not that crazy. American does like to shoot threes a lot, but they play at a very slow pace. They actually have a top 200 defense. So does Mount St. Mary's, though. American's a little bit better offensively just because the threes and how many they shoot. They shoot a pretty decent amount as well, or a pretty decent percentage, I'm trying to say. Mount St. Mary's, though, is top 50 in three-point percentage defense. You can take what you want from that. I like that. They don't foul a lot. They don't give up a lot of free throws, which I think could help them a little bit. I think this game could for sure go either way. There's, American's the favorite here. I don't think these two teams are really all that crazy. I'll actually take Mount St. Mary's to win this game. I think they beat a very solid Iona team in their conference tournament. American, they did solid. I mean, they didn't have to play Bucknell. They had to play Navy in the championship game. But I think Mount St. Mary's a little more. I feel like they're always in the plan, so I'm going to take them. I feel like they got the culture around there. I like them to get it done. I know they're the underdog, but 2.5. Give or take what you want from that. Xavier, Texas, this is probably the hardest game for me to predict of the first 4. And here's why. You look at both these teams. Xavier with 1 quad 1 win. I don't love that. But they did play a lot of quad 1 teams very close. They're ranked 41st in offense, 38th in defense. They're 37th overall, directly behind UNC. And ahead of teams like Oregon, who's a 5 seed. I mean, they're ahead of some decent teams. Texas, on the other hand, is a little bit lower. They're really not ahead of any crazy high seeds except for Memphis, but a lot of teams are ahead of Memphis. Texas ranks 39th in offense, 69th in defense, so Xavier definitely the more well-rounded team. I've been really back and forth on who I want to go with this game. Xavier probably the more experienced, well, definitely the more experienced team. I mean, Zach Freeman's been there for a while. Texas, though, Trey Johnson, I think he's the best player in the series. I know he's a freshman, but again, it's kind of a lot of people are taking Xavier. Xavier's a favorite, and same thing with the San Diego State UNC game. A lot of people taking San Diego State at least to cover. When I look at this game, I see Trey Johnson averaging 20 points a game. Again, I know he's a freshman, but he's proven he can do it. I mean, Texas went on a run in the SEC tournament. They beat Vanderbilt, who's a 10 seed. They beat Texas A&M, who's a 4 seed. Xavier, on the other hand, lost to Marquette, who is a 7 seed in the first round. So I don't love that. I feel like Texas is just playing better right now. I could really be convinced of either way. I don't love. I don't know. This one is so close. I'll go with Texas. I just think they can push the pace of play a little bit. I think their offense, they force a lot of turnovers. Xavier is not crazy good at taking care of the ball. They don't really turn it over like a lot necessarily. Both these teams shoot pretty well from 3. I think if Texas gets hot, I think they get going offensively. I think Trey Johnson has a huge game. Like I said, he's probably the best player in the series, but Zach Freeman is very close for Xavier. He's a big man. I like Texas's guard play, though. I don't know. These two teams are so close. I could really see this one going either way, if I'm being honest. But I'm going to take Texas. I think they played in the better conference. They made it farther in the conference tournament. They have, as of recently, I know Xavier went into the Big East tournament on a 7-game win streak. Texas, on the other hand, couldn't really get a win. But they beat A&M. They beat Vanderbilt. They played Tennessee fairly well. They lost by 11. Xavier was right there with Marquette, though. I mean, like I said, this one could go either way. Definitely the hard. And another thing with Xavier is it's in Dayton. It's like 45 miles away. It's practically a home game for them. But I don't know, man. I just like Tech. They played in the better conference. The SEC, I know everyone's talking about it, but it's the truth. I mean, Texas has a lot better wins and consistent. I don't know. Both these. This one is really throwing me for a loop, as you can tell. I'm gonna take Texas. I'm gonna stick with it, but you could definitely convince me either way. That is going to do it for the first 4 preview/prediction video. Again, we'll have our March Madness predictions here. Probably not tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. Probably Wednesday, though. And then we will have an NBA video here coming soon this week. We'll have our MLB season predictions coming soon as well. It's a great time to be a part of the channel. Make sure you subscribe and join the bracket challenge in the description. You're going to want to do that. It's a fun little thing I want to do. Just go down there and join that. Put your bracket in, and we'll see who comes out on top. Maybe I'll do like a guest featured kind of thing for the winner. We'll see what happens. But that is going to do it. Thank you so much for watching this one, and I'll see you guys next time with another either NBA or another March Madness video. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one.